Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the YesterYear Racing League. This evening we're excited to bring you all the coverage from iRacing's virtual Stafford Motor Speedway as we get set for the final races of the season here in the state of Connecticut for the YesterYear Racing League's fall final. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing, including the weekly Fast Friday series. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Justin Prince, alongside Brandon Laster. Our producer tonight is Christian Hill, who's working the controls as our producer. YesterYear Racing League is a unique one to the iRacing platform for those who haven't followed through with the season so far, as it seeks to emulate historical races for the 1990 Whelen Modified and S.M.A.R.T Tour campaigns. These races are identical in terms of the length and conditions to the real races that occurred. We'll bring you these bits of history throughout tonight's history lessons of the broadcast. Tonight, we'll be emulating the 1990 version of the Coca-Cola Fall Final here at Stafford. Braden, back to racing action here from East Stafford. It's our second stop here this season, but it's coming down to the stretch for this season, for this series.
That coming up on that penultimate race next week, not next week, but next race out at Thompson. These drivers have a couple more weeks before they get to the final couple races to really sort it out and figure out who wants to finish where. And you see that June 25th date last time with the Stafford early in the season, Brian Bianchi found victory lane. And hopefully, I'm sure he's wanting to get back to victory lane again tonight as he comes in tonight as your points leader, barely over Lloyd Moore.
Let's talk about that a bit more in depth because that's taken some turns, that championship. Remember last time Mount Thomas Ogle missed the race. He's now 179 points back. For him to have a shot for the championship, he'll need some miracles. But it's Bianchi, Lloyd Moore, and Ryan Pittman who are all in the conversation. They're within 44 points of one another entering the final 3 rounds.
Actually, Ryan Pittman has really lit a fire on his own butt. There are 2 wins in the past 4 races and a 4th and a 13th place in the other 2 finishes there. So he's definitely found a lot of momentum here late in the season. He's got 3 races, though, to make up a ton of points on Lloyd Moore and Brian Bianchi. Is it impossible? No. I think it was some luck. It's definitely more than possible.
Keep in mind, last time out, Pittman helped his cause with the victory in the Blue Ridge 100 at North Wilkesboro. Bianchi's last win at Pocono was the Race of Champions. So, let's talk about the track we're at tonight. Now to turn the page over, East Stafford, which has been called that on the virtual platform at least since the time that the virtual series came into be during 2020. Stafford Going to be an interesting one, but fast one. Drivers are turning 18-second lap times tonight.
A very quick, very short, and a very not so banked track. It's decently banked in terms of short tracks, not so banked though compared to like bigger NASCAR sanctioning tracks. Only 9 or 7.5 to 9 degrees of banking depending on which end of the track you're on. 9 degrees down in turn 1, 7.5 degrees down in turn 3 and 4. And originally opened up in 1870, one of the oldest operating racetracks in America. It opened up as a fairgrounds, and then it was eventually changed to an asphalt racetrack there. So coming at just a half mile in length. Gonna be a fun race. You can run the bottom, you can run the middle, you can kind of run the top. It's not recommended though.
Indeed, and that's going to be an interesting one to talk about. This race, I should say, is going to be interesting to talk about as this night progresses tonight. Now, one of the main things touched upon by league administrators entering tonight, 3 drivers have EOL penalties tonight. 2 of them are tops in your standings, Braden. Bianchi and Moore will have to start at the tail.
That is it. So you mentioned there, Bianchi and Lloyd Moore 1 and 2 the championship going to start at the tail end of this 23-car field. Also joining them will be Stephen Hilbert. So that's going to be very catastrophic to their championship runs. Those penalties coming from races in the previous couple of weeks. They're just now getting applied. So we also have an interesting tidbit here. We've talked about the Hubble AI quite a bit this season. See Donnie Moore on top for the first time this season. So looking to hopefully make some magic happen if he can. Definitely going to need the help. So Donnie Moore, by the way, also not to clarify too, we've had a couple confusions, both myself and in chat. Lloyd Moore, Donnie Moore, not the same person. Donnie Moore is not in the points running here, but Lloyd Moore is. But Donnie Moore, 100th career start here at Stafford on iRacing.
Yeah, it was touched upon by administrators that the Buick Racing League was favored in this year's Hubble AI top 10 predictions for this race, where 7 of the top 10 are projected to be from the BRL. It's the question, can Hubble deliver? After all, that's been one of the questions. Hubble's chosen Donnie Moore a lot this season, but not a win. To that credit yet, from Hubble AI to Moore. We'll see if that changes here tonight in the AI predictions. But 23 drivers will challenge themselves around East Stafford tonight. And it's a cloudy one in our conditions as well for the fall final. It's expected to be fairly cool all throughout tonight's race for the overcast skies. Also expect wind gusts as high as 13-14 miles an hour for tonight. It's time to look at your starting grid for tonight. Just about everyone put up times. The EOLs to be given out still by race administrators. Thomas Ogle and Ryan Pittman on the front row. Rex Hoyle and Jerry Isaacs will be in row 2. Bob Bianchi did put up a qualifying time at least. We touched upon him in the storylines. He's 5th on the grid. Donnie Moore 6th. Brian Neff starts on page 2 with Bruce Pearson. Rounding out your top 10 is Joshua Buckley and John Hine will round out your top 10.
Then rolling off, drivers not trying to set the top 10. Todd Listen, seeing some speed from him. Past couple races out, he's going to be rolling off in 11th to his outside is Chris Davis. And right behind those two is Brian Johnson and Lloyd Moore. Mentioned that penalty as well. So he set the time not quite as good as he wanted, nowhere near Brian Bianchi, but him and Bianchi will both be working their way up through the field once they get rolling here. Low Jewel behind those guys in 15th, Jeffrey Light and the Piggy Wiggly 39 machine in 16th. Thomas Hilbert there in the 17th. Alan Wanamaker there. He's had a lot of speed this last couple races out. He's going to run off deep in the field. 18th, Torrance Childs 19th. Dustin Martinson there in the 20th. Running out their field though, 21st in their last qualifier. Chris Hazelip about 6/10, 7/10 off of their quick time, and 2 drivers did not set a time tonight. That's John Hastings and Stephen Hilbert, who would be serving an ELL penalty anyway. So just making it easy on your staff and not taking the time.
That's a look top to bottom at the running order for tonight's action. As here's a look at your Maconi setup shop race analysis for this evening. 125 laps your distance here at East Stafford. Again, no green-white checkers in the series, fixed setups, 0 fast repairs. You must keep it clean if you want to be able to finish well. So, on that note, your keys to a good race tonight at the second visit to Stafford.
That you mentioned all those key characteristics here. No green light checkers, no lucky dogs, no wave arounds, no fast zippers, and most importantly, one spare set of tires in the pits. You go for a spin, you heat the tires up too early, you wear them out too early, you're too aggressive early on, they're going to destroy your tires, and then this guy gets about lap 60, lap 70, I feel like. You're hoping there's going to be caution at that point. But I think tire management is going to be key here.
Interesting enough, race control did not give the EOL penalties. We'll see how they handled that. It was indicated this morning through race control penalties that was supposed to be the case. Regardless, the green flag is out. The fall finals underway from Connecticut. And a good start for Thomas Ogle as they try and sort out single file at least for the top three. They do. Hoyle able to stay to the bottom. A different look, less red on the 50. One driver is going to be not happy to start the race in the grass. Brian Johnson, we stay green.
Brian Johnson from 13th on the grid down to 23rd after one lap completed. Gets it rolling again. Just cuts a little bit of grass on the process.
This is a fairly challenging racetrack. Last time out at Stafford was the Camden Classic, where in the end Bianchi did pick up the win. That was a race with 19 in the field where Bianchi dominated. Not expecting as easy a race tonight, with this being such an interesting field when it comes to strategy. Remember, that race was also 125 laps, where Bianchi led much of the way in what was a two-caution affair.
Yeah, see the battle for lead starting to heat up a little bit there. Pittman putting the pressure on Thomas Ogle, and you got 6 and 7 drivers all single file for the most part. No one really pushing the issue yet, but if someone makes a mistake up here, the drivers behind will be ready to pounce.
Yeah, all just staying in a rhythm for the time being. But hey, Ryan Pittman backing up his momentum from last time out from North Wilkesboro. He's been looking very quick as of late. He's really helping his points chances with these sort of runs.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have loved to have Brian Bianchi and Lloyd Moore start in the back if they were supposed to there. Bianchi up to 4th after starting 5th, so right behind Pittman, but the big gains being made on Lloyd Moore, stuck back here in traffic all the way back in 14th.
Top two starting to break away. Hoyle starting to struggle. Speaking of struggles, that was a bobble for Ogle. Pittman forced to run the second groove and try and diamond line with how much of a bobble Ogle had to get out of the gas for. As here he goes.
And looking for the lead, Ryan Pittman looking a bit low on the racetrack. Enters below the white line, drifts up, runs the diamond line, gets the run off the corner right behind Ogle. Not able to take a look yet, but man, that peak show was definitely interesting.
Yeah, opened the door with the bobbles, but couldn't keep it there, was Pittman in that regard. But keep in mind, the top 7 have now broken away by a quarter of the racetrack, all working single file in the very early going here at Stafford. Some of the other drivers of note towards the back. +3 for Todd Liston so far. Chris Hazelup up 4 spots. A -10 for Johnson with his bobble on the grass in this race as we keep an eye on the leaders.
I see Ryan Pittman there once again, reeling in their leader. Thomas Ogle mentioned he was their points leader and dominated season, multiple wins, multiple pulls, and missed last week to fall out of the points battle. So, I mean, technically, everyone can have a really bad race for 3 weeks in a row in front of him. He can maybe go up and get a championship, but I don't think that's going to happen the way Ryan Pittman's putting the pressure on behind him.
A wall contact for Donnie Moore in this group. Outside of that, status quo. Pittman looks quicker. Pittman no place to pressurize though, as Ogle still tries to slow round the bottom of the Mystique paint scheme. Here we go for the 08 machine. You can tell Pittman's quicker. There's just no place to go.
Now, I mentioned this track, you can run down those, you can run the middle high line, you're going to be much slower. But the thing is, the middle and the bottom group kind of meet right there in the same lane that Ogle is running. Now, a little bit in the wall, the right rear goes. So once again, Pittman closes up, has nowhere to really pass him or even stick his nose underneath or outside of him. I mean, maybe get the chrome horns out, but I think it's still too early for that.
Ogle trying to work to get some points the hard way. He's technically still within range for the championship lead, but will require some absolute luck to be able to come away as the champion, because the missed race, no drop weeks, remember, in yesteryear. All of this is wow. You also have the teammates at Hoyle and Bianchi still up here, 3rd and 4th. They're using the apron to try and get the rotation going.
Yeah, definitely got to try something different. You see the bottleneck we have here. I mean, going back, you know, what, 6, 7 drivers, going all the way back to Brian Neff is the last car in this lead pack. They have a 2-second gap to Todd Liston and 8th. So 7 drivers are all in one big bottleneck. They're looking inside of one another back there in this lead pack. Neff, Donnie Moore looking inside Jerry Isaac for a split second, but same story out front is for that battle for 5th. Just nowhere to make a pass.
Seems to be the standard status quo. Now, touching upon the real world 21st round from the Winston Modified Tour back in 1990, it was fiddly enough with tonight being the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series finale, the Coca-Cola Fall Final. Mike Stefanik picked up the victory. Yes, Stefanik had been a dominant driver that season at Stafford, won 3 of the 4 races in fact. Jeff Fuller was the only other winner at Stafford that year.
And Jeff Fuller actually got 2nd in this race here back in 1990 as well. So he was always in contention. Mike Stefanik always found a way to pull away. And temperature 73 degrees, ironically pretty close to what it is once again in real life. And here in sim, wind speed south of 70 miles an hour. A little bit clouding. You know, the fall final. I mean, I like the short track, the fall races. A lot of short tracks, you know, have their fall brawl, the fall fest, the fall final. It's just kind of a way to say goodbye and thanks for running all season with us. So that's what Stafford put on back in 1990, and that's what we're getting to see here. It's not goodbye yet, still a couple races. But Ryan Pittman, I'm sure, would love to say goodbye to Thomas Ogle if he can. But lap traffic starting to come up here.
Yeah, Johnson just up the road. Stephen Hilbert in range to be lapped, as well as Dustin Martinson pretty soon. Alan Wanamaker is at the back of the main grouping of drivers. That's currently out in round turn 2 at the moment. Ogle just backing up his corners. Pittman trying to charge these corners for the constant difference between these two in terms of how they've approached this track.
Yeah, Thomas Ogle will be the first one to reach that traffic. Brian Johnson saw that spin on the first lap. So he'll be the first to go a lap down. Then they got a huge pack of cars, 4 or 5 deep, and after that they're going to be picking them off one at a time. So this might be an opportunity for Ryan Pittman to maybe stick his nose inside or outside Thomas Ogle.
It leaves bottom open as you take a look at the conditions. That track temp has skyrocketed from qualifying, by the way. It was at 75 during the qualifying session. That's how much rubber is being pushed into the racetrack and how much heat these cars are in turn putting by all the laps being turned right now. Already at 100 laps to go, and it's almost like they've hit a brick wall of air. Just a 1/10 of a second quicker the leaders are to the lap traffic.
It's definitely going to be fun watching these leaders get around Brian Johnson. You mentioned no lucky dogs, no wave around. You're going to go a lap down. You got to get that lap back the hard way. Thomas Ogle putting the pressure on Johnson. Johnson goes high. Ogle looking low. This might be an opportunity for Pittman. He's going to follow Ogle through on the bottom. Ogle washes up. Oh, Pittman not able to capitalize, but look at this train in front of these guys, though. They've got 4 cars spread fairly close together.
Now, once they reach this train coming up here, that's going to be the interesting part as Johnson scrapes the wall. Doesn't really break up the lead pack all that much, as next up in the order, Stephen Hilbert gives the top. From the top, he's up in the wall. Bounced off of Pittman, had a bad ankle down the back straightaway. And now we have a slide. Neff turns around and spins it. Caution.
Trouble for Brian Neff, who was a 7th place car. I mean, this is a single car incident, just ended out of line and out of whack, and gonna bring out the first caution of the night. 28 laps in, Neff is running 7th, able to get back going, not quite yet, still stopped up there, gonna go a lap down. So the driver that had winning speed is now stuck a lap down.
Had a bobble at the back of the lead pack, and he had been yet to make a move on Johnson. Well, now because of how long it took for him to turn around, he'll be pinned a lap down in this race and actually lost a spot to the 27.
That's going to be heartbreaking there for Brian Neff. So see what happened. You had Brian Johnson up there in front of him and saw the other lapper get into the wall of Hilbert. And Neff just goes in the corner and loses it. Enters a little out of shape, a little out of line, a little out of whack, and that's all she wrote. Speaking of which, mechanical issue it seems for Torrance Childs as well. Childs was running inside the top 20, and he has magically disappeared and taken it to the garage. I'm presuming to maybe grab a hot dog.
We've also had the 71, John Hain, with that tech issue, get flipped upside down, and he's in the pit lane with the meatball flag. So the 71 just got some bad luck with the 5's tech issue.
What's happening tonight, JP? I think that's John Hain's debut, and yeah, I'm not really sure what happened. That was absolutely insane. I saw a camera of it real quick, see if we can get a replay of it.
Yeah. Again, the 71 car is in the pit lane because he had an incident under the caution with the tech issue of Torrance Childs. Hain is officially out of the race with Childs.
I'm going to stand corrected here, actually. Hain has made one start this season, all the way back August 27th at Myrtle Beach, started 25th, finished 21st, and unfortunately he won't better his finish after that incident there. That's Torrance Childs in the 5. Connection hardware issue for him, and he doesn't even see the 71 on the number 5 screen, because everyone's gone, and Childs just drives through him. Physically and literally, mentally, emotionally, and I'm sure Hain's gonna feel that one later.
Hain indeed. As a result, part of your 2 DNFs now in this race. Currently tentatively 2, depending on what Childs does. But long pace laps here. 1 to go. Thomas Ogle, Ryan Pittman, Rex Hoyle, Brian Bianchi, Jerry Isaacs, your top 5 more. And now Todd Liston up to 7th with the incident to the 60. We'll see if it stays status quo, or if Ryan Pittman's able to crack the code on how to make this pass work. Green flag is out, back it away.
No one did come down under pit lanes, no tire changes, no wacky strategies yet. Wacky strategy in the back, Todd Liston about makes contact with Steven Hilbert back in the middle of the pack. So they are already getting spicy, they're getting dicey.
Still single file it out up at the front. Lap cars also in the mix as well, keep in mind, based on the time of the caution flag. See some of them having to get around Steven Hilbert, who's off the gas, letting some of these drivers go. Good civic by Davis, Buckley, Jewell, Hazelip, Lloyd Moore, and more at that time. But now it's a 6-car breakaway rather than 7 up at the point. Donnie Moore, the caboose of the pack.
I see the bubble already starting to form there between your lead pack and Todd Liston. That first car out of the lead pack in 7th, already a 2nd gap between him and Donnie Moore. So Jerry Isaacs, Brian Bianchi, Rex Hoyle, Ryan Pittman, and Thomas Ogle, all your lead pack here drivers, those 6 drivers in a line on your screen, and once again, really follow the leader.
So what's it going to take to break this pattern, though? Because Pittman almost did it once. What's it going to take to truly break it, because they are dead even on pace?
I think we're going to need another 25, 35 green flag run here, or lap green flag run here, and go catch some lap traffic and catch a big trend lap traffic. I think if that caution didn't come out for Neff there, we would have been A-OK, and Pittman would have had a ton of opportunity to get around Ogle through the lap traffic as they hit a huge train of cars. Now all that progress, all those opportunities have been reset, pushed back, and every caution we get from this point forward is basically going to prolong what seems to be inevitable. I mean, look at the speed Pittman has. Ogle is doing a fantastic job of carrying speed, carrying momentum, and pulling away from the rest of the guys now in the lead pack, but he can't shake away Ryan Pittman.
Right, 18.5s. Before that caution, they had been in the 7s. Showcases how the tires kind of work here around this racetrack in terms of raw pace. Track position critical. Rex Hoyle, he's maintained it. In fact, the top 3 are starting to break away from Bianchi and company.
I see him starting to form a little bit of a safer bubble there, a little safer gap. So one mistake and it's at the end of the world if you have to recover. Stephen Hilbert down pit lane low in front of your leaders, it seems. Hilbert already 2 laps down, and might be getting service, might be getting a hot dog. We're not sure which.
Of note, the 5s now pulled back out of the race. The 71, attempting to stay in the race, has fixed all the mandatory repairs except for a black flag for pit entry. So 1 DNF seems to be the official count in this circumstance. All of these drivers, meanwhile, looking to steady things out already near halfway. Let's take a look at some of the air battles. It's been a tough one for Lloyd Moore. He's battling right now for about 12th, 13th place right now with the 93.
That guy around Chris Hayes up there in the 93 in the Bojangles machine. See the Piggly Wiggly of Leiden behind him. But Lloyd Moore up the track in front of these guys. See that black and white. Number 26 machine there. Trying to chase down Louis Jewell, Joshua Buckney, and Bruce Pearson. Get inside the top 10. But minus a mistake from Bianchi or Pittman, this is not going to be a great point tonight for Lloyd Moore at all. And we got to assume he'll take that EOL in another race this season. I don't foresee that being just a complete scratch. I might be completely wrong with that one. We will have to find out though October 22nd when we return to the ultimate race of the season.
Yeah, there was multiple races reviewed upon earlier today. That includes will serve EOL penalty round 13.
Well, this is round 13, so I'm not sure.
Well, that's not the situation to think about for now. But Isaacs, he's trying to sort himself out, trying to get himself around the 41. He's showed some good speed and burst this season.
Yeah, see Isaac right there. Started 4th, down to 5th, and he's got this 2 Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe cars, Rex Hoyle and Brian Bianchi right in front of him. And let me tell you, they're putting on a sweet drive. It's like Culpeper's right a sweet treat, but I'm sure Isaac would love to get around these guys.
I think everyone would like to get around somebody at this point. It's just the nature of the racetrack though, right? Choo-choo train effect. Know their speed to be able to make a pass. It's just a matter of can you pressurize somebody into making a mistake. That's been very much easier said than done tonight.
They got some lap traffic coming up. It's 19 machine of Dustin Martinson about straightaway or so in front of your leaders right now. So still on the lead lap, has every right to fight for the lead lap. But pretty decent gap compared to everyone else. Hasn't been an incident. Actually, Leiden might have had an incident, it seems, in front. I'm not sure where he came from. Yeah, Leiden spun out. And now he's side by side with Dustin Martinson in front of your leader. So they're going to come up on 2 lapped traffic, or lapped cars, not to be lapped. Not lapped yet, soon to be lapped. You know what I'm trying to say.
So lap traffic is approaching. We've seen already, lap traffic's been kind of disastrous. It looks like Leiden is falling off now with those slide of the tires going up the track. He scrapes the wall, in fact, trying to let these cars go.
Yeah, Leiden came into this race 6th in points. Had a career run last week at North Wilkesboro, top 5, first top 5 of the season. This night, not going so hot though. He has a ton of top 10s, battle for the lead. As their caution comes out, Pittman was side by side with Thomas Ogle. So we're going to see how they score this one. I believe Ogle is going to maintain the lead. But let me tell you, if we had another 3 seconds, Ryan Pittman would have been their leader.
Jeffrey Leiden locks it down and brings out the caution. A very weird one as he was driving up in the marbles, trying to let cars go and then looped it.
This is a lack of grip up in the marbles on the high side of the track, up high where he was when he spun. But see, you get a replay of that coming right at you here on Maconi Entertainment. She lied in the black and red, number 39 Piggy Wiggly machine. That's 51 Jerry Isaacs says inside. Here comes Donnie Moore in the 4. And she gets up there in the marbles, loose stuff, no grip, and that's all she wrote. And she even get a replay of the battle for the lead right before that caution comes out. Because coming through 3 and 4 to final time, Ryan Pittman was inside of Olga. I mean, they were pretty even as even gets. See it there, yeah. On the bottom, Pittman, Olga, and 13 up top. And I mean, dead nuts, even Dell flag is out right before Pittman slows down. So I mean, it was a game of inches. Pittman down pit lane low, getting some tires maybe.
Trying something different here. We're just before halfway, so it's a game of why not. If there's an air caution, it flips the script, and he goes on the defensive. He is also in with Alan Wanamaker. Dustin Martinson did keep the lead lap. He ended up coming in as well for service there. So, a rolling of the dice for Pittman. It's going to need some luck here to make sure this call works, but it could be a good call if he gets a caution at the right time.
That's going to be the big if you can get a caution about 25, 30, 40-ish laps, and, you know, Thomas Ogle, Hoyle, Bianchi, Isaac, all the guys in the top 10 that they're pretty much in that single file train, they're all pretty much the same speed. They all come down later, they'll come out and they're behind Ryan Pittman. The way this tire model works on this Whelen Modified is you can pretty much run a qualifying lap a good majority of the race as long as you have a caution to slow or to cool your tires down. It won't be the longer you run on tire, they're going to have your tire wear, of course. But you mentioned, you know, after that caution previously, they were back running 18.5, which is a tenth off of their qualifying times. But before the caution, they're running 18.7, 18.8. So it basically is going to wear down quicker on a more worn out tire. But Pittman will have the opportunity to have some speed here and carry that speed through a late portion of a run if they get a longer run. And then once that caution comes out, it should, in theory, flip the strategy.
Well, let's see if he's able to flip the coin the way he's hoping. Thomas Ogle, Rex Hoyle, Brian Bianchi, now your new top 3. Back underway as Ogle continues to pace the field. Todd Liston is up to a race-high 6th with this call as well. Keep an eye on the 87 this run.
Liston's had some speed. Typically been the first car not in the lead pack, and have an opportunity to make the most of it right there inside this battle for the top 5. But Rex Hoyle in a 50, going for second. He's got it after, you know, Pittman pit there. But Thomas Ogle is all he sees in front of him now.
Also in this main pack to start this run, Chris Davis, who's shown good speed, I should say, and BRL competition at this racetrack. Davis, one of his better circuits in the 7.
Mentioned Donnie Moore there in the 4. He was Hubble AI's favorite to win tonight there in that 5th spot in that 4 machine, right behind Jerry Isaacs in the 51. So putting the pressure on Isaacs, 100th career start tonight in Lowe's 100 career starts as well. 6 pole positions, 16 wins, 55 top 5 finishes, and then 79 top 10. So pretty respectable stat line there for Donnie Moore.
Yeah, and he's providing a lot of pressure to Jerry Isaacs right now. It's been hard to jump the queue, so to speak, in this lead pack tonight. But he's applying a lot of pressure just past halfway now in this fall final here at Stafford. Still a couple races to go after tonight here in the YesterYear competition. Few-week break after this race tonight. Here's a look on board with the 4. A lot of wheel having to be put in to make sure it doesn't spin around there.
That's definitely a fine-toothed comb here with these modifieds. I mean, 600 horsepower, big 12-inch tires, but even with all that tire and all that grip, you got a lot of motor that we're dealing with. The track temperature up to 82 degrees Fahrenheit definitely makes it for a fun moment when you're trying to wheel and deal around here in traffic.
Yeah, you see the temperature staying about the same now. Starting to stay stabilized. surprised is the better term right now. It is a 6-car breakaway. Davis has been overexerting on the exits. A push to the inside. Hoyle lets Bianchi go.
I don't know if that was a team call there, or I mean, Hoyle bobbled a little bit, got a little bit squirrely, and didn't really push the issue with Bianchi, so I don't think it was an intentional pass, but he's not going to push the issue with the number 41 and Bianchi, the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe teammate. So now he's got a sweet shot to go and try and chase down Thomas Ogle.
And this is the highest the 41's been obviously here tonight. This is a true test to see, can he close up the gap to Ogle? We've seen these two teammates struggle to close that gap much of this run. Coming up around towards the final 55 laps in this race.
Definitely in the final stages already. Caution at this point would flip the strategy, I feel like. I mean, you mentioned some drivers able to stay out on the older rubber and just have a caution cool their tires down. Right now, their leaders in the 18.6. We've seen new tires actually hurt. Pittman marred in traffic right now, running 18.7s faster than everyone in front of him by 2/10. It's not able to get around him.
Reference Pittman at the moment in the 08 car is in the 11th position. And that's the tough thing, right, is making a call like that. Because as the poke around for I6 doesn't see a poke to the inside fully, up here, it's everyone's near even on the race pace. Back there, it can be unpredictable what the pace is for some.
You got some guys at 2 or 3 seconds slower a lap, and it might be, you know, their braking points a bit different, their line's a bit different, their line might be harder to pass. And let me tell you, Lloyd Moore saw Pittman go by and immediately looked like it adjusted his line. I don't know if we saw something that Pittman's doing.
Oh, hold on. We got some problems up here. Rex Hoyle on a checkup. Nearly got turned around. Now gets clipped by I6. Hoyle hasn't gripped up yet. Now does. What a save from the 50. He was near sideways the whole corner as he had a checkup with the 41.
That Bianchi looked like kind of caused that entire situation, bobbled in the middle of 3 and 4. Hoyle had to check up. Isaac didn't quite get the memo, made more contact with Rex Hoyle, and then tried to complete a pass. So heads up driving by all 3 drivers there to, actually the entire lead pack, Donnie Moore and Todd Listen, to not really drive through one another. But all that allowed Thomas Ogle to pull away here.
Bit of an eyebrow-raising moment, so to speak, you could argue. But with 50 to go in this one, they now try and resettle back in. Right now near a second, the gap between first and second. Pittman is up to 9th on the leaderboard, by the way. Downside, it's near 5 seconds behind these cars. Isaacs now, if anything, seems quicker than the 2 in front of him right now. But again, no place to send it.
Looking back at some stats from the 1990 iteration of this race, the Coca-Cola Fall Final, time of the race took 1 hour and 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Although,
bubble, turn 2. Hoyle spins across the track and Isaacs, caution flag is out.
Well, I was getting to say back then they had 9 cautions, 32 laps. We're nowhere near that, but Rex Hoyle trying to get us a little bit closer.
Yeah, Hoyle getting loose. A lot of people have been doing that on high corner exits, and that puts us under caution once again here.
This is perfect opportunity for Ryan Pittman's strategy to play out perfectly, and it is. Leaders down pit lane: Thomas Ogle, Brian Bianchi, Donnie Moore, Todd Listen, Chris Davis, and more. More as in some other drivers, not Donnie Moore. Well, Donnie Moore is coming down pit lane, but Jerry Isaacs, only driver to stay out.
That's a big roll of the dice from Isaacs. Pittman, as expected, staying out here. Lloyd Moore doing the same for his strategy. Everyone else coming in for fresh rubber. See if that ends up making the difference. They're running 18.7s and 18.8s on the average prior to this caution period, as Thomas Ogle's the first down of the lane.
So Ryan Pittman should be restarting second. The thing is you have a couple drivers staying out: Dustin Martinson, Thomas Hilbert, Brian Johnson, Alan Wallmaker. Justin will flip the switch. We talked about him coming down with Ryan Pittman. Same with Lloyd Moore. They're all restarting now inside the top 5. And you gotta look at the drivers that just came down. Thomas Ogle is going to be restarting theoretically between lap traffic and your leader too, about 10th on track.
A lot of cars they now have to battle to get by here. Let's look once again at the reason for the caution. It's the 50 who goes around.
The second red, white, and yellow car there. So right behind Brian Bianchi in the 41, gets a little bit out of shape and up the track he goes. Big contact with Jerry Isaacs. So Isaacs stayed out, do you remember? So heavy damage, so I'm not really sure how well that 51 machine is going to handle up front. So that might be a perfect opportunity for Ryan Pittman to get the lead and just drive away with it. But that's the reason we're under the third caution of the night.
On board, this is Isaacs. And no chance to respond. I believe he got away with really major damage, though. He doesn't have any Nerf bar damage. Doesn't have any wheel damage, it appears. He just drove off and rode the top like a skateboard.
They might have the damage report from his spot or his spot. It's a good driver. So Jerry Isaacs can stay out front. Pace car lights are off. Gonna be going green with 42 laps to go. Time of the race back in 1990 took an hour and 2 minutes, like I mentioned. Currently, right now, we're at 33 minutes. We should clear that by a large margin, assuming we don't have 6 cautions to match that 1990 race as well in the next 40 laps.
Pretty quick race here tonight, but it's been line the stern style racing in the pack. Not expecting that to stay the same, because you have Isaacs on the oldest rubber in the field with Thomas Hilbert also up there doing the same. Pittman on newer tires in second. Speaking of tires, bit of tire spin from Wanamaker. We're back underway. Isaacs looks to run. Already 2 and 3 wide behind as everybody else tries to catch the 51.
They're going to be one opportunity opens up for Ryan Pittman to get around. Isaacs is not quite there yet. Looking back in the pack, you see all these battles. See all the leaders. Thomas Ogle now looking out inside. Thomas Hilbert going to seal the deal. He's got Brian Bianchi following him in line. They're already up to about 6 on track. This is Brian Johnson now. Next one up, he is a lapped car though.
They're starting to get coiled up actually. Donnie Moore stuck back there, trying to find some space and quickly juts underneath Martinson. That's for 8th spot. Now having to reset as Martinson has problems coming off the corner. That opens up the door for Donnie Moore. All of this is kind of showcasing what we're talking about, those differences in the pack that can come into play right now in this type of race.
To the driver who doesn't want a chance for the field to get bunched up again, that's Lloyd Moore, who's up to 3rd right now behind Ryan Pittman. He's on the alternate pit strategy with Pittman, so currently pulling away from Alan Wallmaker, Brian Johnson, and Thomas Ogle. Bobble by Johnson makes Ogle get contacted the left rear. Johnson goes up the track. Thomas Ogle able to keep it clean, keep it green. As they're going to literally shove Johnson up the track and out of the way. Brian Johnson now coming down pit lane. Box Sprinto gets contact, trouble behind them. We got one in the wall.
No caution yet. We stay green. Martinson able to keep it going and keep it straight in that circumstance as they continue to wheel round. Up front, Isaacs in clean air has not let up. Pittman right now running a bit slower than your leader. How long does that last though? Pittman trying to send it hard into the corners.
Got a contact back there with Donnie Moore and Brian Johnson. Donnie Moore, his left front was literally off of the car and magically reappeared. So he must have gotten some duct tape out real quick, thrown out the car and wrapped it around perfectly, able to keep it going, maintain that top 10 run currently. So Pittman though, as close as ever this run, but it's basically shades of a same story. Can't really get an opportunity, even though it seems that Isaacs doesn't have the grip that Pittman has. Pittman just isn't able to get a good opportunity to make the move.
Yeah, now it's going to need more time here. Remember, it took about 30 laps into a run for Pittman to get a side-by-side opportunity. Here's the thing that might force him to have to hurry that plan. Thomas Ogle, on the freshest tires in the field, is in 4th and just closed 2/10 last time by.
Yeah, currently 1.6 seconds back, so he's gaining. I mean, he's especially gaining on Lloyd Moore there in third, so it should be in this podium position and have a shot at both Pittman and Jerry Isaacs here in the next couple of laps at the rate he's closing. But Pittman, I think, can get around Jerry Isaacs. I think he can pull away. But Isaacs is playing some great defense.
He's running out of time to do so. They're blocked to the inside. Isaacs trying to hug that inside aggressively as he can. Pittman trying to use that half-second line, clip to the apron. Isaacs pinching too much, checks them all up. Pittman tries to peel off the bottom on the apron, makes contact, locks it up. Up the track goes Lloyd Moore. Here comes Ogle.
Dare I say, if I'm Ryan Pittman, I'm going to start pushing the issue. Although the only issue he pushed was the fact that he allowed Thomas Ogle to close up big time, get inside of Lloyd Moore, and that's going to make actually Ryan Pittman bob it up the track. Allows an opportunity for Ogle to look inside for second. Caution flag is out for back in the pack. It seems to have a wreck off of turn 2. Not sure where, maybe the Piggly. I'm thinking the Piggly Wiggly. No, it's Chris Hayes up to 93.
Under caution, 13th place, sent around by 18th place. Also involved in this incident can tell you Lowell Jewell and a couple others. And this comes at a very opportune time for Ogle, who is in full attack mode. Now the tires had gotten up to temperature. Here's why. The temperatures have to freeze a bit here.
And Brian Neff there, 60. The back nine of the 93, that's Hazlip, and then Lowell Jewell making a bit of contact there as well. Jeff Lyden, 39 machine, does a great job getting around. Him at 32. Not sure who's in the 32 tonight. I believe that's John Hastings. It is. So that's a fantastic job getting around that wreck in front of him. So great heads-up driving by all these drivers tonight. We've seen some pretty good displays of talent here. Now the biggest talent requirement is going to be up in front of the field of Jerry Isaacs, trying to hold off not only now Ryan Pittman, but Thomas Ogle.
Yeah, it's getting a bit nerve-wracking out there for some, but right now, the field's frozen again. Isaacs, Pittman, Ogle, your top 3. Ogle's in the best chance right now, I think, because he's the fastest right now. Once these tires get to temp, Pittman's not having an easy enough time here to make the pass of the 51 for him to try and run away here. He's running out of time to do something. He'll need to do something urgently.
Yeah, I don't think he can really bob. I think he's going to have to push the issue like we saw him start to do so, although the only one that hurt in that case was Pittman himself. Bobbled up Lloyd Moore, allowed the Ogle to get around Lloyd for that 3rd spot, so you got Brian Bianchi now also pushing the issue with Lloyd Moore. I think Lloyd Moore is going to be A-OK and should still finish inside the top 10. I mean, he might even finish inside the top 5 with some help, maybe get that podium once again. But a lot better where he's running back there in that 13th, 14th spot before the halfway break.
Much better points paying position, yes. So they get themselves all sorted and ready to go here. Remember, the next race on the schedule isn't until October the 22nd, where it's the YesterYear World Series, where it's 125 laps, going to be from Thompson. That one once again here at Maconi Entertainment, 8:30 start time for the green flag. Then the Southern 200 laps at the Paperclip will decide the championship. That's a 50 lapper longer than the original stop during the season. So let's do this now. Once again, pace truck is off for the fall final. Isaacs trying to roll the dice still. Green flag is out, back it away.
Isaac's doing a really good job of getting the jump on the restart. Pittman falls back a quick second. They're going in the entry, forces Ogle to check up. Brian Bianchi now side by side with Lloyd Moore for 4th. Lloyd Moore running a little bit higher up the racetrack. Bianchi looking down low, not able to seal the deal. They're going to be side by side off of turn 4.
Bianchi wants some spots and wants them now. All the way to the apron to try and make this move. Still can't get it done quite yet. Still side by side for the 4th position. Last time by, Moore got the edge. Moore now being pushed up the track by Bianchi. 41 gets the advantage for the stripe.
Yeah, Bianchi should be able to clear him going through 1 and turn 2, and he is. See if Lord Moore has anything to challenge it. Going to get the run off the corner. Bob is open. It's going to hurt his run. He's not going to have anything to really take up to that fight. She currently falls back to that 5th spot with Todd Liston right behind him. Meanwhile, back up front, it's all Thomas Ogle trying to get around Ryan Pittman and Jerry Isaacs.
Yeah, they are still trying to find a way to sort themselves around. Ogle seems to be quicker than Pittman. Now to flip the tables, so to speak. Pittman last run made several mistakes, clipping the apron, trying to keep up with that 51. Isaacs aboard the apron so far with 20 laps to go.
Yeah, lap traffic actually coming a little bit early, almost like a Christmas present. Alan Wallmaker and Chris Davis, not sure what happened to them. I believe they had a bobble. Yes, Alan Wallmaker and Chris Davis had an incident on the opening lap after the restart. And now they're both back here, less than a straightaway from getting lapped.
I know they wanted the race to go, but that might play a huge factor here for the battle for the race lead in the next couple moments or so. 18 laps to go. Pittman trying to use all the apron. That doesn't work. He would straight up the racetrack.
Yeah, you gotta start doing something different. They're not gonna get aggressive. Ogle to the back bumper. Pittman moves him up the racetrack. Not too much, though. Not too aggressive. That lap traffic happens straightaway back. Ogle looking inside of Pittman. He's got the spot.
Does he have it fully, though? Pittman not backing down. Side by side into turn 3. A squeeze down on Ogle. Pittman able to force Ogle to lift off the gas. Good defense for the 08.
Brian Bianchi actually made contact, it looked like, with Thomas Ogle in the 13. It's a 4-car breakaway. Lord Moore still 5th. Now the first car out of lead pack. But Brian Bianchi, Thomas Ogle, Ryan Pittman, and Jerry Isaacs there, your leaders, and they're now within a quarter of a straightaway of that lap traffic of Alan Wallmaker and Chris Davis, who are going to be fighting fiercely to stay on the lead lap here.
Under 15 laps to work with on the racetrack. Pittman within a car length. Isaacs right now trying to wrap the bottom still. Pittman has not been able to peel off Isaacs from the race lead since Isaacs rolled the dice and stayed out on the oldest tires in the field. Pittman again trying something different. That's not working.
I think he's got to really start pushing the issue, getting the chrome horns out, getting them dirty, or getting them buffed up, or looking inside. The same we saw Bianchi get around Lloyd Moore back there. So see the stack up effect going in the corner. And here's the bottom line attack from Ryan Pittman.
Again, not working, and now he's forced up high. Ogle trying to wrap the bottom himself, almost got a poke around. Down to 13 laps to go on the racetrack, down to 12 in fact. Pittman this time clips the apron. Ogle no place to take the run, and everybody's getting queued up now.
Yeah, Lloyd Moore, Todd Liston, Donnie Moore, Rex Hoyle have all caught this battle for the lead and the battle for the win. Just under 12 laps to go, and they've also got the lap traffic of Alan Wallmaker and Chris Davis.
It's like a conga line. Now Isaacs blocking aggressive. Now Pittman trying to use the outside, seeing if that would work. Doesn't. Lap traffic now within 5 car lanes now in this battle, as they are starting to get the elbows ready to come out with 10 laps to go.
Pittman loosey-goosey on the exit, overdrives the entry, gets loose, bobbing up the racetrack, doesn't have the grip. Ogle looking inside, side by side for second. Thomas Ogle trying to get to the point. All this is allowed to lead, or the lap traffic pull away a little bit. Battle for second, go to Thomas Ogle.
Oh, contact. Bianchi gets let go by Pittman after Pittman nearly sawed off his front nose. And now the attention's back to the race lead. They're still side by side from third spot, but Ogle is within a car length for the lead. Pittman still hasn't found a way to sort himself out yet in the battle for third.
Your 3 championship drivers making a bit of contact. Bianchi and Pittman do. This isn't going to end pretty at this rate. Battle for the lead, though. That lap traffic definitely starting to play a bigger picture. Thomas Ogle all over the back bumper of Jerry Isaacs.
They're settled up for third. The leaders are within 3 car lanes of lap traffic. You see them right there. Right now, Ogle is on the doorstep with 6 laps to go. Pittman, he's back inside for third.
Pittman trying to get that spot back from Bianchi. Needs the points. He's that first driver out in the championship chase. 44 points behind Bianchi, so every point matters. Lloyd Moore right there behind Bianchi as well, trying to capitalize on this battle. Working through lap traffic low. It's Jerry Isaacs maybe looking a little bit low. Ogle ran a really high line in the corner, and they're all over the back bumper of Alan Wanamaker now. Less than 5 laps to go.
Ogle's trying different things. He's got fresh tires to try and burn through. 4 laps to get the job done. Lap traffic in front. Ogle again clipped the apron, loses momentum. They're within 2 car lengths of the lap traffic.
And Ryan Pittman gets around Brian Bianchi there for third. He's actually running their leaders down 2/10 of a second quicker last time by. 3/4 quicker last time by. So he's got the speed. See if he's got the time though.
Isaacs again. This time backed up the corner. Ogle trying to take away the outside line. Does. Ogle trying to make a pass on the outside. 2 laps to go from Stafford. Ogle tries to squeeze down Isaacs. Forces a bubble. Ogle to the lead.
Not able to clear himself yet. Isaac slips up, makes slight contact with Ogle. Ogle gets the run off the corner. White flag in the lead. Thomas Ogle.
Thomas Ogle getting the elbows out and getting the muscle out. Fresher tires prevail with a pass with 2 laps to go. As they come through 3 and 4, Wanamaker's the only obstacle. He moves up the racetrack. Thomas Ogle returns to the car and wins at Stafford.
Battle back there from third. Ryan Pittman comes home with that third spot. Jerry Isaacs here in second behind Ogle. So big points. And not as big as he would have wanted, but he makes gains on both Bianchi and Lloyd Moore. Both the drivers finishing 4th and 5th there. So championship fight. Still anyone's race.
An exciting race tonight. Comes down to a couple laps to go to make the move. Thomas Ogle gets to celebrate. And now
Trying
with
to celebrate.
There we go. Oh, nearly flipped it over.
Oh, that's one way to celebrate. Finally making smoke from the rear tires. Way to celebrate.
So Ogle burns it down here at East Stafford. We'll take a step aside. Post-race coverage coming up. You're watching Yesteryear on Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, everyone, to Maconi Entertainment's coverage of tonight's action from the virtual Stafford Motor Speedway. YesterYear Racing came down to a wild finish as Thomas Ogle makes the pass for the high side and wins over Ryan Pittman and Rex Hoyle. Rather, Jeremy Isaacs and Ryan Pittman. That was originally the qualifying stretch. Then Bianchi, Lloyd Moore, and Donnie Moore with Todd Liston, Rex Hoyle, Bruce Pearson, Joshua Buckley very quietly rounds out your top 10 here tonight, Brayton.
Now, Buckley had a very quiet night indeed. Started to tie top 10, finishing 10th there. But Louis Jewell up 4 spots. He's going to finish 11th. John Hastings, though, in that 32 tire machine, he's going to finish 10 spots above where he started to finish 12th. Thomas Obert there in 13th. Dustin Martinson in 14th. And Martinson, I believe, actually got a lap back during the pit cycle. He stayed out and they would get back on to lead lap after going a lap down early. There might be a mistake in there, but Chris Hayes up in 15th, Chris Davis there in 16th. Alan Lawmaker gets lapped in the final 10th of a mile. He's going to finish 17th. Brian Neff, who saw his incidents tonight, unfortunately for him, after such a strong qualifying run, he's going to finish 18th. Jeffrey Lydon there in 19th. Brian Johnson, he's going to finish 20th. Stephen Hilbert rounding out your cars not inside the top 20. Or first car not in the top 20, then John Hain, who finished upside down in point child, just harder issues. He's going to finish 23rd, rounding out your field at 97 laps down.
Judge to bottom at the running order here tonight, as in the end, Thomas Ogle is the one who comes away with the win. Let's see if we get a word with him as we get set for post-race coverage here. So, Thomas Ogle gets to celebrate here tonight. He joins us here at the broadcast booth. Tom, first things first, talk us through that battle between you and Isaacs in the very end.
He was on his original tires, which I didn't know at the time. I don't think I would have gotten him, but I think he thought I had a run, so he ducked low to block, and I just sent it on the outside, and I wasn't sure if it would stick or not, but I had barely enough tire, and I knew once I was up next to him, I would be able to get him off of 2 there if I could stay next to him through 1 and 2.
And that opened up the door for another win for you this season here. That's going to be the season high 4th for you on the campaign. Now, of course, talk to us about the race itself here tonight, because Stafford seemed to be one where it was hard to pass in the first place.
It was really, well, I started out front, so those guys, I think, were faster than me, but they couldn't get me if I just ran a line. You would get so loose up off the corner, like especially off of 2, there's a little dip there in the corner, and if you hit that wrong, you were loose, and that's, when I came back up through the pack, that's how I made most of my passes. Guys would hit that and get loose. But so if you pushed up a little bit off of 2, you could still hold it because they couldn't get traction up off the corner to get up under you.
So that being said, your thoughts on the final couple races to go. Thompson and Martinsville. Of course, you missing the last race going to impact the championship itself, but still chances to come away with good, strong finishes to end the year.
Yeah, I just maybe race for some wins. I haven't done the best at Thompson this year, so Martinsville I'm okay at. But yeah, just looking forward to the rest of the race. I had a bad streak even before I missed last week's race. I got wrecked out of a bunch of races while I was having a good run, so everything kind of went downhill even before I missed the race.
Once again, Thomas Ogle getting his 4th win of the season. Congratulations on the run. Anyone who wants to give a shout out to?
Just Alan for all the work he puts in on this league and all the time he spends, and all the guys. That was good, clean racing. Me and Ryan Pittman had a really good battle, and he raced me really clean when I was in front, and I appreciate that.
Congratulations once again on the race tonight.
Thank you. Thanks. Have a great week.
Thomas Ogle, the series leader in victories, coming away with 1 here tonight. Jerry Isaacs almost pulled it off. He's instead with Brayton.
Yeah, Jerry, you led the final 44 out of the 46 laps. You came up about 7/10 of a mile short. Tell us about Wonder's strategy to stay out the entire race, I believe, and what more did he need to hold off Thomas Ogle?
Same as always, holding off Thomas Ogle, more speed. He's just really fast. I stayed out the whole time. I tried early on to make a pass a couple times, just couldn't make it happen. So I felt like the only thing I could do was stay out. I knew I'd be slower than everybody else, but if I could hold that inside line, make them go around to the outside, I thought I might at least have a chance at a podium.
That definitely worked out, able to hold off not only Thomas Ogle, but Pittman and both Bianchi there were pushing the issue. And Pittman was getting a little bit aggressive there. He was getting eager to pass. He pulled out the chrome horns a couple times and talk about maybe holding them off and maybe working through that traffic a little bit as well.
Yeah, I mean, the key was just hold that inside line. It's so hard to pass here. And I was on old tires. They were on fresher tires. I know they were faster. I know I was holding them up, but that's part of racing. I was going to hug that inside. I think he even saw me a couple times. I get loose on exit and I knew they had to run. So I'd cut down to the bottom of the track, just not going to let them get to my inside. And, if they want to pass, they got to go around the outside. I was going to do my best to make them go the long way.
All right, and then one last quick question for you. I believe you now have a season high of 3 second-place finishes. I think the most out of any driver. Only a couple races left in the season. When do you think that win's going to come? You got Thompson and Martinsville coming up.
I love Martinsville. I was doing really well at the first race, and then I got caught in some stuff. So I don't know. I'll give it a try at Martinsville. Meantime, you can just call me Sheldon.
Love it. Anybody want to thank?
Yeah, always. Thank you guys for the broadcast. Love it. I know my mom loves watching. Thank YesterYear, Alan Wanamaker, for putting this on. Mad Sim for putting me in the car, and hi, Mom.
Give us a shout out to Mom. Way to go there, definitely. We want to make her happy. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us, and thank you for taking the time to put on a great show.
Well, thank you, man. I hope to talk to you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Again, that's Jerry Isaacs coming away second spot tonight. Third spot went the way of Ryan Pittman, and he was close to making his strategy pay off. Ryan, talk to us about the strategy, because it was thought of it would have been great. You almost had a chance for the lead. Talk us through what it was like in the car as you were trying to battle hard for the lead and end up falling to third.
Yeah, that was a good race. I'll be honest, Stafford is one of my toughest tracks. I never feel like I can get totally comfortable here. And when I undercut Ogle on that pit stop, I thought I was going to be okay. And then Isaacs did a great job just keeping it low and tight. And I just did everything I could to try to make it by him if I could. But I definitely didn't want to make a mistake there for sure. So I was trying to be careful. And then once Ogle got to my back bumper, it really kind of hurt because I couldn't take that wider entry. I couldn't open up my entry to kind of undercut Isaacs on the bottom off exit. So, but I gotta apologize to some guys. I think we got a little physical there. I think I might have ticked off Bianchi, and I'm sorry, man, if I did anything. I tried to clear down behind Ogle and undercut him, and I think I just lost track of where Bianchi was behind me and clipped his right front. So I apologize for that. But man, it was a good race, man. It was fun.
Indeed, you're the highest, by the way, of the championship favorites. This moved you up 5 points on Bianchi, 10 points on Moore. So you're now a minus 39 to Bianchi, a minus 22 to Moore. Your thoughts on the championship, as you are one of the championship favorites now with a couple races to go?
Yeah, it's been fun. I'm hoping my computer holds up, man. Every time I jump in, I hope it, because sometimes it gets a little slow and what'll. I've been trying to fight some gremlins on that, but yeah, so long as everything holds up. I've lost a couple points already in a couple races because I've had to drop out. I think Thompson, I was running top 3 or something, and my computer just wasn't having it, so I had to drop on pit road and give it up. So that certainly hurt, but like I kind of mentioned in the past, I'm just here to have fun and try to learn these cars and how to race a little quicker around these guys.
Your thoughts on Thompson next week?
It's tough, man. It's a lot of fun. You got to be careful with the seams, especially in the tour mod. It can get really loose, especially going into one. But it should be fun. It's gonna be tough to pass. I had a good car there last time we were there, but just track position just kind of became a thing. And I think I started on the pole last time, and starting on the pole at that track, you're just kind of delegated back to second immediately on the restart because the outside's so dominant there. But anyway, I think it'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
Anyone want to give a shout out to before we let you go then?
As always, support your local short tracks. Gotta give them a shout out. That's the best racing on the circuit, man, in the U.S. The short track Friday night racing, of course, Cars Tours is such a fun thing to go to. Of course, I'm in the Carolinas, so I get a lot of that. But yeah, just do what you can to support your local short tracks, whether it's dirt, asphalt, or whatever you got. Just go out there.
Congratulations once again on the top 3, Ryan.
Yeah, buddy. Appreciate it.
Ryan Pittman rounds out our top 3 discussions. I'd like to thank the entire top 3 for taking time to speak with us during post-race coverage here from East Stafford. Your thoughts tonight, Braden, after this one then, as in the end it comes down to the outside working for a pass.
Yeah, definitely came down to the final literal half mile there here at Stafford, and we knew it was going to be a great show. We knew it was going to be a great ending, just didn't know how it would finish, and Thomas Circle, no surprise there. 4th win of the season for him, and also led the most laps, 81 as a matter of fact. I believe him and Jerry Isaacs were the only lap leaders en route to tonight's checkered flag being given to Thomas Ogle. So I think it's all going to come down to Martinsville, really looking at the championship battle.
Yeah, it should be an interesting time, but again, remember the next time out for these drivers, it will be Thompson. 8:30 p.m. October 22nd, so we get a few weeks off until that mark. But on that note, it's about time we said goodbye. Thank you to the YesterYear Racing administration team led by Alan Wanamaker for their work in bringing this racing league to life. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Brandon Laster, with Christian Hill producing. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's racing action, and we hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to the entire staff for bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's setup shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.